Great Smoky Mountains National Park is the most visited park in the entire United States by a landslide. Great Smoky Mountains National Park typically has been averaging the last few years 11 million to 14 million people annually. The next closest park is Zion National Park with 3 to 5 million annually. The Great Smoky Mountains blows all other parks out of the water by visitation. And it's not my favorite park, and it's not even on my top 10 list of favorite parks. And I'm gonna tell you why. But if you are one of the many people who are going to Great Smoky Mountain National Park this year, this is what you need to know. Great Smoky Mountains National Park does not charge an entrance fee. But as of 2023, they did start charging parking tags. It's $5 for a daily parking fee. It's $15 for a week, and the annual pass is $40. They have kiosks where you can buy them around the park. You can also buy them at the visitor center in person, or you can buy them online ahead of time, but there is an additional shipping cost. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is known for its beautiful mountains covered in green, its mists coming over the mountains, its sunsets and sunrises, its many and diverse hiking trails in the area, its gorgeous waterfalls, and having the Appalachian Trail run through it. When we visited Great Smoky Mountains National Park, it was the beginning of April in 2021, during COVID. We drove into the park. Our very first view we stopped at was overlooking Gatlinburg, and it was right before we crossed into the border of the national park. After that, we found a spot where the river was touching, and we went and explored that area for a little bit and checked out the beautiful river. We continued on to the Visitors Center, the Sugar Land Visitors Center. The line at the Visitors Center was completely insane, and because of COVID, they were restricting the numbers of people that could enter severely. So we chose to skip it and just continue going on our own. We chose to go and do the Rainbow Falls Trail. Rainbow Falls is an 80-foot drop waterfall. It is the largest single drop waterfall in the park. The trail is 5.6 miles and 1,500 feet of elevation gain. Since we were there before the summer season, it was covered in ice. Rainbow Falls gets its name because typically on a sunny day, there is a rainbow that forms in the midst of the falls. This time, however, the falls was covered in ice and snow. It was very beautiful, and there was a lot of water. I didn't realize that it was actually a really beautiful time to be going to Rainbow Falls until I looked at the park website and saw that it looks like a trickle more than when we were there, how much water was actually coming over the falls. So, good time to go do Rainbow Falls as long as you have the proper gear and are careful. There are signs telling you not to climb up onto the rocks because people slip and hurt themselves. So, be careful, be cautious, watch your children if you go to the falls. Make sure you're prepared for whatever weather on the trail. The Rainbow Falls hike was our big event that day. The other things that we did on that day were to go visit the city of Gatlinburg for just a little bit, and then to go and do the drive through the park. If you come into the Great Smoky Mountains from the north side, you will pass through Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. You will find whatever kind of entertainment you want in one of those 3 towns. Dollywood, the theme park, is there. There's also outlet stores, there's dinner theaters, and almost every restaurant you can imagine. And then there's so many things to do in Gatlinburg. There's souvenir shops with all kinds of different things. It's so crowded. When we did our drive, we went from the north side to the south side, and when we got to the end of the south side, we were on the Cherokee Reservation. The reason why Smoky Mountains is not on my top 10 are these. First off, we went at the very beginning of April, so there were not leaves on the trees. The only green ones were pine trees, which stayed green year-round. But there were so many dead sticks all over that the overlooks just didn't give you that feeling that you can get from so many other parks. I also love going to these national parks when I could get away from people and away from society and away from all of the comforts of being next to a big city. So the fact that it's next to these 3 massive towns definitely was a deterrent for me personally. I think if I actually did the Appalachian Trail, I would actually appreciate the beauty of the Smokies, especially if I did it in the summer when things were green. When we were doing the drive from north to south and seeing the overlooks of the green hills that weren't so green, they were stick hills, half and half from the pine trees, we also started to watch the sunset over the hills, and that became special and beautiful, and it kind of gave us a glimpse into why people find this park so special. And then because the sun was setting, we needed to get out of the park, so we went down to the south side. We were on the Cherokee Reservation, and we were looking for somewhere to eat, and pretty much everything had closed down because it was already after 8, I believe. So we were able to find one restaurant that was open, and it was Granny's Kitchen, and it was buffet style. It was there, it was open, so we were grateful for that. The night before we went to Great Smoky Mountains, we were planning to sleep in Gatlinburg so we'd be close to the Smokies in the morning. However, Gatlinburg, because it is a tourist town, is extremely expensive. We were able to find a hotel for less than $60 at a travel lodge in Harriman, Tennessee. I will say this, it was affordable. The day we explored Great Smoky Mountains, that night we stayed in Black Mountain, North Carolina. We stayed at a Super 8 for about $85. It really helps to save a lot of money if you're willing to go a little further out than the most popular areas and you're not picky about what hotel you stay at. There are bears in the Smoky Mountains. One of the most amazing things that the Great Smoky Mountains does is in the early summer, they do a lightning bug or a firefly lottery. So if you are planning a trip to Great Smoky Mountains in early summer, definitely look up the lottery for fireflies. It looks absolutely incredible. I would love to go to this event someday. I would also love to see the Smoky Mountains in the summer sometime. Would I go back? Absolutely. I would try other hiking trails, I would try a different season, and I would try to find campsites outside of the way that definitely aren't going to put me in the mix with the craziness of those 3 massive towns. They also have 10 campgrounds with a total of 1,000 sites, and in 2024, they had 420,000 camper nights. If you are in the area, you definitely should go check it out, especially if you're there in summer or fall. We did find some interesting things in Gatlinburg. We saw pecan-flavored apple butter and some other interesting flavored treats. I hope you can go to Smoky Mountains, and I hope that you can have an incredible experience and really immerse yourself. If you are planning a trip, this is the info you need to start, and you can take it from here. As always, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, share, comment, and like my videos, and I will keep bringing you really cool places in the United States. Safe travels, everyone!